We have breaking news to lead off this hour. Prime Minister Mark Carney is taking fresh steps to reposition Canada's trade relationships. He's in Germany this morning. On the same day, his U.S. trade minister is restarting talks with Washington. This is video from Berlin earlier this morning as the Prime Minister is welcomed by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Germany is the Prime Minister's latest stop from his trip to Europe. We can tell you there are two headline developments this morning. Prime Minister Carney says his government is signing a partnership with Germany to develop critical minerals in Canada. And the other development is about a big military spending program. Canada is looking to replace its aging fleet of subs, and this is a project potentially worth tens of billions of dollars. Carney is announcing this morning a giant German shipyard will be one of two finalists.
The German-Norwegian partnership is one of the two finalists for this, consistent with the cooperation potential that we have and consistent with Canada fully fulfilling its responsibilities on all three of our coasts. The Chancellor and I, and we were joined by others, in developing a critical minerals action plan. Basically, for this diversification to happen, you need willing buyers as well as willing sellers. And we have an initiative to help develop and stockpile those critical minerals. And that it's in that context that the Minister of Natural Resources and his counterpart will be signing a joint declaration on intent on critical minerals cooperation, so to accelerate innovation, investment, and collaboration.
Prime Minister Carney will be touring the German shipyard with National Defence Minister David McGuinty, and Industry Minister Melanie Joly will have coverage of that when he arrives in Kiel later on this morning. Evan Dyer is our reporter covering the Prime Minister's mission in Europe, and he has more now on the context for today's announcements.
Prime Minister Mark Carney today met with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, and the two signed an agreement to supply Canadian critical minerals to German industry. Those minerals, of course, often very important in defence manufacturing, and defence manufacturing are a big part of Carney's visit to Europe. Europe, of course, is rearming. There's a program called the Rearm Europe Plan 2030. Canada, too, is looking to acquire new military equipment. And one of the biggest ticket items that Canada will ever buy in defence, or has ever bought in defence, is to renew its submarine fleet. Of course, Canada bought 4 used British submarines almost 30 years ago, did not have a good experience with those boats. They rapidly ran into problems, and currently at least 2 of them are out of operation at any given moment. And so Canada is now looking to not only renew that fleet, but also expand it to a dozen submarines. There had been 4 contenders in the running: a German-Norwegian consortium, South Korean company, a Spanish and a Swedish company. Today we learned that field has narrowed to just 2. The German-Norwegian consortium, ThyssenKrupp, and the South Korean company, Hanwha Ocean. Later today, the Prime Minister will visit the ThyssenKrupp shipyard in Kiel, Germany, and look at its operations, but he also wants to assure the South Koreans that he's not being a favoritist, so he added that he will visit them as well in October. This purchase is a big one. We're talking about submarines that cost somewhere in the range of $2 billion each. That's the price the South Koreans are talking about. The German one is widely presumed to be slightly more expensive even. And of course, they take a long time to come, but the South Koreans there are offering a slight advantage as well. They say that their submarines could potentially be ready for the first delivery by the end of the decade. The Germans would be looking more at 2031, 2032. In any case, some clarity today on a very big ticket item and a big part of Canada's own plan to quadruple its defence expenditures by the end of the decade. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Berlin.